So the traditional webinar format is indeed dead. And so what I've done is I've restructured a webinar format to a more modern way, and I've built an AI tool called Webby that can help you leverage this new structure, which is more transparent, more direct, yet still very compelling, to create a presentation literally in minutes. Gone are the days of the blah, 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 20-minute about me sections, all sizzle and no steak. In today's world, people want more transparency, directness, and if you're a coach, consultant, or course seller, or a professional, you want a professional representation of you and your brand. That's the kind of webinar you want to put together. In this video, I want to take you through that new webinar structure and show you how Webby AI can create that presentation for you in minutes. If you're interested in Webby, check out the link in the description. I've been working on webinars now for over a decade, everything from Shark Tank companies to billion-dollar corporations to solopreneurs like many of you listening. This is going to be an insightful video and an inspiring video if you're either doing presentations or webinars or would like to create one for your business. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so here we are over in Webby AI, and we're going to create what I call a lead generation style webinar to book calls. Now, Webby needs a little bit of information from you. It needs your name, what problem you solve, who your client is, and a few things about your offer. You can even drop a link to a sales page or a website in here. So let's just give it a quick example for the sake of this demonstration. Let's say that your name is Erica. You're a book marketing, book creation coach, and you have a done for you service helping coaches, consultants, service professionals create their book, get that book out of their head and publish so they can grow their business. And you have a 90-day coaching and implementation process for them. Okay. So let's just tell Webby a little bit about us. Webby's first going to do is recap what you shared with it. And these are the core things, right? We need to know what problem you solve, who your ideal client is, and a little bit about your program. And now once we have that in place, Webby's going to start working on creating our presentation, starting with our headlines. So your topic and the headline you use to describe that topic is the most important thing for getting people to, rearrange their calendar, actually register for your presentation and attend. And Webby has been trained specifically on all of my frameworks. So this is why Webby's different. It's been trained on my frameworks. And I've generated millions in sales through webinars for my clients. You get the benefit of that all in one place here. So let's take a quick peek at what Webby's come up with. This has actually not been scripted. I've not seen what it's produced before here. So let's see what it comes up with. So again, you're a book marketing coach and you have a service. Your name's Erica. And here's one of the headlines: from scattered ideas to published authority, how coaches, consultants can finally write the book that grows their business in 90 days or less. That's really good. Really, really good. Get that book out of your head and into the world, the step-by-step system for busy coaches. I actually like number one. I think number one is amazing. With Webby, I can always chat with it. I can say, hey, can you add this or combine these two? And it'll just talk with us like anything else. But let's use number one. That's really good. From scattered ideas to published authority, how coaches, consultants can finally write the book that grows their business in 90 days or less. Now Webby's going to give us what I call benefit bullets. So when you come up with a theme or the headline for your presentation, you're going to want some benefit bullets that incentivize people for why they want to come to that presentation. Okay, you can use these in your invitation emails. Webby's going to write those as well for you, as well as your registration page. Webby will incorporate that into there for you as well. So these are the 5 bullets that it came up with. Discover the exact roadmap to turn your messy notes and half-baked ideas into a book that actually brings clients. That's so good. Learn the biggest mistakes coaches and consultants make when writing their book and how to avoid burnout. Walk away with a clear action plan to finally get your book out of your head. These are really, really, really good. And I've had a number of people, this is a newer tool, use this. They were blown away by what it created, much better than they could on their own. So let's just say, yes, we like those. Again, I can always talk to Webby. And now what Webby's going to do is start writing the script for my presentation, starting with the first 5 slides, which I like to call your Intrigue Open. A big mistake people make when it comes to presentations is they just start jumping into teaching without getting people intrigued in the beginning here. So we'll just introduce ourselves and the topic. We talk about what they're going to learn, and then we seed that there's a special offer at the end. So let me just quickly read this. So hi, I'm Erica Lane. Welcome today. You're in the right place if you've ever stared at a blank page, a pile of sticky notes, or a Google Doc graveyard and thought, how the hell do I turn this mess into a real book? That's so good. We're going to talk about from scattered ideas to published authority, how coaches, consultants can finally write the book that grows their business in 90 days or less. First up, I'm going to show you the exact roadmap to turn your scattered ideas into a book that actually brings you clients, no ghostwriters, no years of agony. Next, I'll walk you through the biggest mistakes they make when trying to write their book, how to dodge the burnout, overwhelm, and endless drafts. And then I'll walk you through the authority book system, which is an actual system. We'll talk about that in a moment. A step-by-step process that fits your real busy life, even if you feel like you have zero writing momentum right now. And stick around to the end. I have something special for those who are ready to finally get that book out of your head and into the world. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this. So we're intriguing. What are we doing here? We're opening loops. We're getting people who wanting to stick around. Now that's a really good section there. Next, what we'll have Webby do is write what I call your framing the opportunity, right? We're going to talk about the desires your ideal clients have, the difficulties in getting there, and then seed the discovery, right? So we want to I always like to start off. If you're here today, you already know how game-changing it would be to have a book out there that would position you as the go-to expert. Imagine handing someone your book instead of a business card. You instantly you're instantly become more than just another coach. You're an authority. You want to share your authority and process and wisdom. You want to make an impact. But let's be real. Getting your book out there, and doing some heavy lifting for your business and all those kind of things. But so basically, I butchered that a little bit, but basically we talk about their desires. Like imagine having a book that does this for you, right? We want to start that with your webinar as well. Imagine, the benefits of that. I actually like to start with the desires. Then I pivot to the difficulties, but getting from I should write a book to actually holding it in your hands, that's where most people get stuck. Maybe you've had a million ideas, but no clue how to organize them. Maybe you're worried your book won't be enough or You've probably, and then you can talk about some things you've tried. Maybe you've tried blocking time off to write, buying courses or hiring editors only to end up with more questions than answers. Maybe you've downloaded templates, or maybe you've told yourself, I'll do it when I have more time. We're seeding their situation, framing their situation. Okay. Well, what I've discovered is that there's a better way to do it, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. Okay. So I'm just summarizing there. Okay. Then what we're going to do is Webby wants us, we're going to share a short, what I call discovery story. Some people call this an origin story. Okay. So Webby's going to want to know, what was life like for you before you discovered this way of creating books? What was it like when you discovered it, and what have you done since? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and plant this in here for Erica. She'd been working in the field for 15 years. We want to seed authority. We want to give them a reason why they should listen to you while giving more context as to why they should care about what you're sharing. And again, this is all still within the first 15 minutes of a 1 hour presentation. So Webby has been trained to write on those 3Ds, talking about their desires, their difficulties, and all those kind of things, and then sharing a discovery story. So I'd spent over 15 years in the publishing world, but when it came to writing my own book, I froze. Then one day I was on a call with a client. She said, hey, wouldn't it be great if I could just speak this book into existence? Something clicked with me. I realized I was making it harder than I had to be. I've created a new system that can allow you to get your book done much faster, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. So it's trained, Webby's trained on my before, during, and after framework for writing a discovery story. We want to talk about what were you doing before you made the discovery, what happened during the discovery, and then what have you done since? And this, again, gives people a reason to why listen to you, but more context around what you're sharing with them today. And that's super, super important. Again, this is about the first 15 minutes of your presentation. Now we're going to move to the content section. And Webby's been trained to create what I call a roadmap to results section. Now, this is like your unique sauce for how you get them there. So at this point, they understand how awesome it would be to get the book and why you're someone to listen to. And they've heard that you have a better way of getting there. Now we actually want to show them the bridge without over teaching and overcome objections. And I've trained Webby to do that in what I call a roadmap to results. So Webby's going to ask you, do you already have a step-by-step process? Some of you listening to this might already have that process. Great. You can just give Webby some information about that. Or if you don't, Webby will actually help you create one. Let's just say you do in this case. Let's say Erica has this process called the Authority Book Blueprint. And what we're going to do then is just put that into Webby. And Webby will use that in our presentation. Okay, so it'll just confirm, fantastic, here's what I have. You can just say yes, continue. Oops, I butchered that, but it got what I said. Now what Webby's going to do is write out the meat of your presentation. It's going to walk through your roadmap, but not just in a boring way, in a compelling way. It's going to talk about what this message excavator is, why it's important, what's involved, what's involved at a high level. It's going to share a case example. It's going to overcome an objection. It's going to confirm value, all the things we want to do when we're creating content for our webinar. You want your webinar content not to overteach, but to expose them to a new path forward. And Webby has been trained to do that. One of the biggest mistakes people make with putting together a presentation is they think if they just give enough value and they just overteach the how-to that people are going to hire them. And that's not the case. Usually people are either satisfied and they leave, or they're overwhelmed, or they have more questions than they came with. The goal of your presentation and the content, the right type of content for your presentation, is to show them a new path forward. And Webby's been trained to do that. Now we're on to step 2 in your roadmap. We talked about idea excavation, or the message excavator. Now we're going to go through and talk about the second piece here, which is the book Blueprint, what that is, why that's important, what's involved at a high level, examples, overcome objections, do all those kind of things. And then it'll go through the third step here as well. Okay. Now this model works. We don't want to just go through a boring walkthrough though. We want to again, show them something different and new, why they should care, overcome objections, share examples, share stories. Webby will help you do all of that. It's trained to do all of that in the right format. Okay, you can always talk to Webby. You can say, hey, I want to add this or that. But that's the big idea of this framework. It's transparent, it's direct, and it shows people a new path forward that they were unaware of before. And if you do this right, you will delight and excite people while it's inspiring them to take action. And you're now 67 slides in. Let's say we're about 40 minutes or so into your 1-hour presentation at this point. Now, again, I can talk to Webby, or I can just continue. Now, after you go through your roadmap, what you're going to want to do now is transition to the offer. And in this case, Erica is looking to just book calls to speak about her 90-day program. Okay, but we don't want to just go from sharing that roadmap, overcoming objections, sharing the keys to success. We don't want to just do that. We want to have a brief transition before we make our call to action. And Webby has been trained to do that as well. So it'll recap all the value you just shared, it'll confirm value, and then it'll give you a transition statement that I've used, a number of my clients like using, to help you get towards that call to action, okay? So let's just say we like that. Now Erica's going to make her call to action. Now, the key to a successful call to action when you're trying to book calls from a webinar. So listen closely to this. If you're a business coach or a service provider, you're selling higher ticket services, you're not going to just pitch that on the webinar. You're going to sell the call with you as the next step. And when you're selling that call with you, you want to position that call as what I call a valuable complementary service. Okay, so we want to name the call something valuable, and we want to describe the benefit of that call to them as the natural next step. And you will get a lot more people booking a call with you if you do it that way. If you try to go into too many details with this type of thing on your program, you're going to reduce the number of calls you get. So for Erica, again, book marketing coach, she's got a done for you service. We could call her conversation, her next step, the Authority Book Breakthrough Call, the Book to Business Strategy Session. These are pretty good. Let's go with number 1. Okay, now I can always go back and forth, but let's just go with number 1. Now what Webby's going to do is write the final call to action section. Again, it's short, it's punchy. If you like what you hear and you want to take the next step, your next logical step would be to book an Authority Book Breakthrough Call with me. I'll drop a link to my calendar in the chat right now. Let's say you're on Zoom. Just use Zoom Meeting for most of you. You don't need anything crazy. And then it's going to describe, during the Authority Book Breakthrough Call, we're going to do this. You're going to get clear on this. We're going to map out this. And we're going to lay out this. Okay, so if you'd like to take that next logical step with me, book that call. That's really all it is. and you sell them on the call, not your program yet. When you get on the call with them, you dig into their situation and sell them your program. Okay. That's called a lead generation style webinar. And we're now done. We now have a 79 slide presentation for Erica. Let's just say we're good with that. Now you can always re-talk to Webby. What Webby's going to do now is write out the entire thing for you. It's going to write out all of the scripts. You can literally just copy it, plug it in. I even give you a slide deck that goes with Webby. You can literally just plug it in. And literally in a matter of minutes here, we've now created a script. And then maybe an extra hour or so, you can get that slide deck done and you're ready to go. You can literally go from spending days, weeks, or months getting this done to literally in one sitting, getting your presentation done and in a presentable format and ready to go. Or you can just hand it to a designer, or you can use my templates and modify those to literally have a presentable asset done in record time. So if you want to check out more about Webby, click the link in the description. And Webby works across any industry you can think of, life coaching, B2B sales, it doesn't matter. Webby will help you literally create your best sales message, ready to go, slide numbers assigned to it, all of those things in moments, okay? So we now have a full script. We just copy, paste that over. And Webby, the cool thing is I've trained Webby to also write some social media posts, promotional emails, all those kind of things to help you more quickly and easily promote your presentations. On Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's going to write, now it's writing 5 promotional emails following a proven structure that I've trained it to do. I have a 5-part promotional email sequence that you can use either with your own list or with a partner potentially to get more people to register for your webinar. And then Webby will even give you the registration page copy here. All done. Okay. So again, just use Zoom meeting for most of you. You can just add some of this stuff to the registration page and you're ready to go. Here's your benefit bullets. Here's your about section, your call to action, your headline, a subheadline, and you're ready to go. You now have all the assets you need to create a world-class presentation for your business in minutes. We're just a few minutes into this video. Obviously, you want to take a little, this is just a demo. You want to go take a little more time going back and forth with Webby, but literally within the hour, you can have your script written. Literally within the next couple hours, you can have a slide deck done. It really is that powerful, okay? That is Webby AI. If you want to check it out, link in the description. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. The old way of doing webinars is not working as well anymore. We want a more modern, direct approach, but still hitting the right buttons, framing the opportunity, showing them that new opportunity, and then making a compelling call to action so that you can book more clients for your business. Thank you for watching this video. And I look forward to making another one for you soon. Check out Webby in the description or comment Webby below. And I look forward to seeing what you can create with Webby as well. Take care.